Hi guys, it's Luis Das from English Easy Luis channel. Today I am going to help you to understand a few irregular way of writing passivation. So far we have done with 8 tenses as a regular way of writing from active to passive, and there are few irregular way of writing and changing from active to passive in English. So those who are viewing my channel for the first time, first thing that you need to do is to click the bell icon and subscribe my channel and watch till the end, guys. And today it's going to be a new kind of understanding of passivation, because we normally use passivation as present tense, past tense, future tense, or continuous tenses or perfect tenses. So we have done with all those 8 tenses, the tenses that are used in passivation. But apart from this regular way of writing passivation, there are few sentences by which we can understand that those sentences are also in passivation. So what are those sentences, or what are those formulas that we could follow by which we can understand also passivation in those kind of comparisons in irregularities? Now in that sense, I am just going to discuss with you or help you to understand two concepts. One is to make you to understand what is passivation to do with the interrogatives or interrogations. When we study or when we learn about sentences, we all understand that there are statement, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory sentences. But when it comes to passivation, we cannot omit them. There are ways to change the interrogative sentences in active voice to passive voice. So how can this be done? One. Second thing is that there are imperatives also we can think of. There are imperative sentences that begin with the verb. So there, of course, you cannot have straight away subject, verb, object in all these things. So what are the possibilities by which we can change these sentences into passive? So straight away, let me go with the examples, and then we'll try to frame a formula for these two type of concepts in passivation. So let's first of all try to listen to the passivation in interrogatives. In other words, interrogations or interrogatives in passivation. Interrogatives in passivation. Now you must not confuse yourself. Interrogative in the sense it goes along with the sentences, which means that it is an interrogative sentence beginning with WH questions or auxiliary verb. Okay? And then remember, the interrogative sentences in active voice, even when they are changed into passive, they will remain as interrogations or questions. Like what we do in direct indirect speech, like changing the direct question into indirect question. No, that is not correct when we deal with the active voice and passive voice. Okay, now let me go to the examples by which I can explain to you, or listen carefully and attentively, and you will come to understand better and better for the passivation as far as the interrogations or interrogatives are concerned. Now let me write a sentence now. who broke, okay, who broke the, how can you say, who broke the mirror, alright, who broke the mirror. And this is an example of an interrogative sentence, and certainly this is in active voice. Certainly this is in active voice. Can you say why? Can you say why this is in active voice? Because you certainly have the verb broke here. So neither it has got an auxiliary verb before the main verb. Even if it is future or continuous or perfect, you will have the verb there, but this is an active voice sentence beginning with the who, the question word. WH question word, no? So this is the word here. So remember, now we are going to change this sentence into passivation. Now you must be extremely vigilant and alert. When we are changing from active to passive, our main purpose is to change the form of the verb from active to passive. So whatever the sentences that is given to you there, the first thing that you need to identify in those sentences is the verb. The verb. Whether the verb is in present tense or past tense or any other tenses. So after identifying and after verifying and after you have made a correct decision of identifying the verb, okay, this verb is present tense, this verb is future tense. So then only you can proceed to change that verb into passive form. If it is present tense, what is the change? If it is past tense, what is the change? If it is future, so all that you can go on reviewing your learning in writing passivation for various verbs in various tenses. Okay, now what is your verb here? This is broke. What is the tense? This is the past tense of the verb break. Now before we start to write this passivation for the sentences that I have written here, how will this verb broke, or how can this verb broke be written in passivation? Clear? Can you write this, the verb broke, in passivation or in passive voice? Yes, the tense is past tense. So therefore, either this can be depending upon the subject. Okay, depending upon the subject, how will this or how can this be written in passive form? How can this be written? It could be, see, was or were, and past participle form of the verb, and here it is broken. Was broken. See, or were broken. If your subject is plural, you can add this were here. Was or were, or depending upon the subject, this can come as past tense also. See. Alright? So this is how you can write the verb in past tense in passivation. This is the past participle form of the verb. That one there. Okay, now let us change this into passive voice. Let's change this into passivation. Now remember, whenever you have the sentence beginning with who, okay? Whenever you begin or whenever you have a sentence beginning with who, immediately you need to remember, if you are asked to write the passivation of this sentence, the passivation of who is by whom. Okay? The passivation or the passive form of the question mark is by whom? By whom? So after writing whom, we need to write the subject. Now what is the subject here? Remember the rules, the mirror. So by whom the mirror, by whom was the mirror broken. Okay? By whom was the mirror broken? See? By whom was the mirror broken? See how this is written here? Can you think of the formula now? Very simple. Let me write another sentence. When did you buy this pen? When did you buy this pen? Past tense. When did you buy this pen? So when is your question word here? Now did buy. So already the past tense is split with the do verb. And subject is here and then this is your object here. Now how will you change this? When did you buy this pen? Now when you have the question word here, now you have to retain the question word here in passivation. Because our main job is to change the verb into passive. Now what is your verb here? See, when, this is your past tense. When was, what is the subject here? This pen. When was this pen, and the main verb is buy. And third, past participle or third form of the verb for buy is bought. And then we have the preposition by, and then when was this pen brought? When was this pen bought by you? See, you remains as you. When was this pen brought by you? Okay? When was this pen brought by you? Now what you can do is the same sentence, remember, same sentence, it can be written in all the tenses. Now who broke the mirror, or who breaks the mirror, simple present tense. Who will break the mirror? Who has broken the mirror? Who have broken the mirror? Okay? And who is breaking the mirror? Who was breaking the mirror? Who will have broken the mirror? And all the tenses will have its passivation depending upon the tense. Now what is the passivation for the sentence love? Who will break the mirror? By whom will the mirror be broken? See? I'm just giving you examples only. So we can go on adding. What about this one? When did you buy this pen? When was this pen bought by you? Remember, the question remains as a question both in active voice as well as in passive voice. In passivation. See? Now let us frame the rule. Okay, now what is this? This is when or who or what or which. All these are known as question word. Okay? Question word. Question word. Question word. And then what you have next? You have what is known as the verb 1 here. Verb 1. Depending upon the tense. Okay? Then afterwards what you have? See? Your subject. And the subject could be, what is that? The object of the passive voice. See? Subject and then what is that? And when, how would you write the subject and then what is next here? The past participle form of the verb. Past participle form of the verb. Main verb. And then of course you have your question mark. So verb 1, question word V1, subject plus P participle. You can have this as verb 3 also. You can call that as verb 3. And then the object. See, question word, verb 1, subject, past participle form of the verb here. Then the preposition by, of course, you is their objective. So when was this pen bought by you? When did you buy this pen? Direct voice or active voice. Okay guys, so very simple, we can just think of the rule. Now let me write a sentence in continuous tense. Okay, then only we will understand better. Continuous tense or in simple present tense. Are you doing this work? See, just do. Are you doing this work? This is of course in active voice. Interrogative sentence beginning with the auxiliary verb. Are you doing this work? Okay. Now, when I say, are you doing this work? Now, how will you change this? What is the subject here? Are you doing this work? Now, try to change this into active. As a statement, you are doing this work. So therefore, in order to keep the interrogation, how will we begin here? Are is only for the second person we use. So but here, are you doing this work? Then how you write this here? Is your subject this work being done by you? Now why I have used is this here? Because this work is a third person singular subject. That's why I have used the verb is. Now if you have works, are you doing these works? Then you can change this. Are these works being done by you? Why being come here? And what is the verb here? Are doing is the present continuous tense. So what is the be form of the verb we add for the present continuous? Being. See? Is this work being done by you? Do you do this work? Simple present tense. Do you do this work? How do you change this one here? Do you do this work? Is this work done by you? Did you do this work? Was this work done by you? So we can go on adding, we can go on changing sentence after sentences. Lots of possibilities are there. So the more you try to write sentences using all the tenses, the more you will become clear and clearer in understanding the passivation. Okay guys? Okay. So for the time being, this is enough for interrogatives. Because we have to discuss the imperatives also. Imperatives. Okay? So I hope you have understood well how can we change an interrogative active sentence into passive voice interrogative. Okay? So try to remember the question word, verb 1, subject, and then the object. So not the object, of course, past participle form of the verb finally, and then the question mark. See? Okay, so let this all. So we go to imperatives now. Imperatives are yet another important aspect that we need to understand in passivation. Okay, now instead of interrogative, let me write imperatives. Imperatives in passivation. Now, what is imperative? That you must remember, that you must understand. What is imperative? What is imperative? Imperative means it could be order or request, command or pleasing or requesting, whatever you may call it. But both are known as imperative. How does an imperative sentence begin? You remember when we studied about the direct to indirect speech or reported speech, we talked about 4 different types of sentences. So an imperative sentence will always begin with the verb. It may not have subject, verb or object. Now let me write a sentence here. Open the door. Open the door. Is this a sentence? Yes, certainly it is a sentence because your verb is there, subject, noun is there. Open the door. This is it could be a command given by an officer or the teacher or whoever is in position, asking the subjects to open the door. It may become a command or it can be a kind of a request. Certainly cannot be request to some extent because you don't have the word please here. So straight away you have the verb open. So remember, when you have an imperative sentence to be written in passivation, you have to remember to write the word let. Alright? Let. Like what we did in interrogatives, whenever you find the word who, by whom is the passivation for the question word who. So similarly here, imperative, whenever a sentence begins with an imperative verb, immediately you must write the word let. So after writing let, come to the subject. Write the subject. Let the door. Let the door. Now what is your verb here? Open. Open. Now since this is in passivation, passive voice, you need to apply the present tense form of the verb here. And then what is the third form for open? Opened. So let the door be opened. Okay? Let the door be opened. Let the door be opened. Now, let me write another sentence. Don't insult. Don't insult the poor. Don't insult the poor. What is this sentence here? What is this sentence? This is also an imperative. This is an order. Beginning with the verb don't. Negative connotation. Negative sentence. And so, how will you change this into passivation? This is active voice and this is your passive voice. So, don't insult the poor. So, begin with the let. And what is the subject? The poor. That is the noun here. So, let the poor don't. Let the poor don't. So, the not also should come. Not also should come. So, you can write let the poor not be insulted. Let the poor not be insulted. Okay? Is this correct? Let the poor not be insulted. Is this correct? Now you have to tell me. Because the question and the concept has to remain same. Only the formula or methodology can be changed according to the active voice or passive voice. And there is a small change to be made. I just let you to think. What is the change to be made here? See? Only one small change. What is that? The not should come here. Let not the poor be insulted. See? Let not the poor be insulted. Now, what is the difference between this sentence and this sentence? It may look correct sometimes. Sometimes this is also marked as correct sentence. But that is not the way to write here. Immediately after writing the word let, your negative connotation not should come here. Not should come here. Okay? So that must be the idea behind. Not must come here. Then the subject, then the verb, since this is your present tense. So be there, and then the past participle form of the main verb. Here it is insult. Okay? So insult is changed into insulted. Insult into insult, it is changed into insulted. Okay? Now see. So this is an imperative, an order. So let me write a sentence for a request here. Pleasing. Let me write a sentence for pleasing. See? Please. Okay? Please. You can write the same sentence. Please open the door. Please open the door. How will you change this into passive voice or passivation? Whenever you have the word please here, remember to write you are requested. Okay? You are requested. That you must write. You are requested to open. Now this to open is your verb here, and this is in infinitive form. So you are requested to open the door. You can write this or let the door be opened, please. Or please let the door be opened. That also can be written there. And let the door be opened. Clear? So imperative sentence. Imperative. So similarly, you can have the sentences like this. So what is the formula that we can frame? See, first of all, you write the word let, and then after writing let what? The subject. The subject, and if it is negative, you write the word negative. Subject, and then what have you written here? You are requested to open the door, or let the door be open. So you have written let, subject, and then be, plus past participle form of the main verb here. Past participle form of the main verb here. Okay? How do you feel now? How do you feel now? Because that's why this is said to be the irregular way of writing active voice into passive voice. Active voice into passive voice. See, let, subject, be, and then past participle form of the verb. You can say, you can have so many sentences. Never tell a lie. Never tell a lie. So let never a lie be told. Never tell a lie. It could be an advice. You are advised not to tell a lie. Also you can say. Never tell a lie. Let a lie never be told. What about may God bless you? With that, may God bless you. This is a wish here, of course. This is a wish. How can you change this into passive? May God bless you. Very simple. How is that? May, this is your auxiliary verb. May you be blessed by God. Okay? May you be blessed by God. So all these changes can be possible, dear and dear ones. So if you have been listening and watching all these calculations properly, that's why I keep on telling you grammar is like mathematics. So unless you listen to it and carefully make all the changes one by one, sometimes our sentences may not become correct. But you are all very smart. You can do wonders. All this need constant practice. So every day you need to do or spend at least few minutes in understanding the grammar, understanding English, various grammars. That is my kind of general advice to you. Unless you concentrate, unless you try to do something in grammar every day, you will forget easily. So therefore, having done this kind of irregular way of writing passivation for interrogatives and imperatives, try to follow this rule and try to write imperative sentences into passivation by using the word let. And for writing the interrogative, depending upon the question word, write appropriately the word given to you and concentrate on the change of the main verb into past participle form and by adding the proper auxiliary verb in order to be the correct sentences and in correct tenses. Okay guys, you are all very smart, you can do wonders. So that's all guys for today. So let me stop this video for the time being until I meet you in the next video for yet another explanation of grammar item. It's Luis Das signing from this video. Until I see you next time, bye and God bless you. Have a nice day.